An online rumor spread like wildfire claiming that Disney was going to close their flagship network, the Disney Channel. And as a child of the 90s, this kind of sent me into a little bit of a panic. However, are there any truths to this rumor?
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. Okay, so technically the Disney Channel is shutting down, but only in some international markets. Disney is not getting rid of the Disney Channel by all accounts. It is simply going away in places like Asia and Europe and only in certain countries. But just the rumor that the Disney Channel is getting shut down was just driving people crazy. People were talking about it on TikTok, it trended on X and on Instagram, and pretty much everywhere you can post something. So I just wanted to take a deep dive into this and just kind of dispel that rumor for everyone watching, especially if you're a fellow child of the 90s like myself. This is according to Times Now News. Disney has already discontinued channels in several countries. So far, Disney channels have been shut down in Australia, Southeast Asia, Italy, the UK, South Korea, and other regions. Disney XD has been continued in even more locations as the company focuses on shifting viewers toward Disney Plus. A new rumor circulated online has sparked concerns that the Disney Channel might be shutting down in the United States. However, as of now, Disney has made no official announcements about discontinuing the channel in the US. In France, Disney XD has already been discontinued, and Disney Junior, along with the Disney Channel, are set to shut down on January 1st, 2025. Meanwhile, in Spain, the Disney Channel will cease operations on January 7th, 2025. Amid rumors circulating on social media about the Disney Channel closing in the United States, a user on X dismissed the claim as false, and then they posted it, and then it got community noted on X, formerly known as Twitter. Given the success of Disney Plus, it's easy to see why some might believe that the Disney Channel might shut down in the US. However, Disney has made no announcements about discontinuing the channel in North America. The rumors circulating online and social media are largely based on confusion about where the Disney Channel has been discontinued, rather than an indication of its closure in the US. Okay, so there you have it. We are not saying goodbye to the Disney Channel. It is interesting to me because I have a feeling that if Disney Plus was to shut down, so not the Disney Channel, but Disney Plus, the streaming service, I don't think it would get the same reaction. It seems like, yeah, they want to push international markets to do Disney Plus there. That kind of makes sense, I guess. But I don't think that if it was to shut down, even internationally, that they will have the same reaction from fans. And let me tell you why. Growing up in the 90s, I didn't have cable, but I would go over to relatives who had the Disney Channel and we would watch it. I grew up with Hilary Duff on The Lizzie McGuire Show, Christy Carlson Romano and Shia LaBeouf on Even Stevens. I grew up with the cast of Phil of the Future and That's So Raven, as well as The Jersey or the famous Jet Jackson, all of these great live action shows, as well as animation that was on there, like Mandy and Mr. Whiskers or Dave the Barbarian. All fantastic shows. Now, some of the animated shows did air on ABC after Disney bought it. Y'all remember the ABC Disney One Saturday morning, or sometimes they aired on UPN 21 Disney Hour is what it was called. And although it was a lot longer than an hour, I don't know why they called it the Disney Power Hour, I think is what it was called. But anyway, neither here nor there. But you saw how this news spread like crazy when it was just a few international markets that no one cares about. And I think it was because at the time, people still remember that quality that the 90s and early 2000s had. I mean, Lizzie McGuire Show was a show that took its audience seriously. So it was aimed at preteens when it first started, and it kind of grew up with the audience, right? It ended with the Lizzie McGuire movie, which was a fantastic film. I actually went with my sister to see it in theaters. And same with Even Stevens, same with That's So Raven, or Phil of the Future was a little cheesier than some of the other shows that I mentioned, but it still took its audience seriously. It wasn't trying to preach to the kids, it wasn't trying to treat them younger than they actually were. the shows grew up with their audience. Now, I will say one negative aspect of those shows was sometimes I felt like the friendships were way off. So, for instance, it made it seem like fair weathered friends were still your friends, and that's just not reality. Your fair weathered friends are not your friends. And so they're actually remembering those 90s and early 2000s shows. Like, I don't even know anyone who's a friend of the later shows. I'm just saying, in my lifetime, I've rarely ran across fans. Now, there are fans of, say, Hannah Montana. That was a little after my time. I had a younger cousin who would watch it, but it still wasn't the same fanfare that came with watching Even Stevens, The Lizzie McGuire Show, or whatever it was. You just didn't have it. Watching films like Cadet Kelly or Xenon or Johnny Tsunami, all those great television shows. True Confessions, that was one where I really thought, whoa, Shia LaBeouf can act, man. That was a fantastic movie. Double Trouble, all of these great original movies. If I could put a pin on it, I would say probably High School Musical is really the last one that there's a whole lot of fanfare. People still like High School Musical. It's still there's people are still doing the musical version of it, ironically enough, in schools. I remember when I was in college in my small college town, which I guess Beaumont isn't that small, but in my college town, even where you would think football is reigning supreme, there was a production of High School Musical going on in that local theater community. I always thought that that was kind of funny. Contrast that with Disney Plus. I don't think it would get the same reaction. There's not that nostalgia, other than maybe with The Mandalorian. But outside of that, you don't really hear people talking about, oh, the latest Disney Plus original series the way that now in the beginning there was some initial excitement because people were excited for WandaVision and Hawkeye and other Star Wars products, right? But I still don't see that level of, oh my gosh, there's a new show coming out on Disney Plus. I just don't see that the way I did with the Disney Channel. Like I said, my initial reaction to hearing this rumor that the Disney Channel was going to be shut down, I got kind of sad because of the nostalgia of it. But the fact is, those shows that I loved were gone way, way long time ago. They were just a part of something that was good that Disney managed to ruin. Ever since Bob Iger's desire to capitalize on all the franchises that Disney has bought or the acquisitions they've made, it seems that that's been the primary focus. And as a result, the quality of the Disney Channel or other Disney properties has dropped. When it comes to Disney Channel, people were reacting sad because we remember, the whole thing where the mouse ears would appear. We remember the Jetix block. We remember Disney XD. We remember Disney Junior, which actually started out as a programming block on the Disney Channel, and then it became its own channel. Initially, like I said, when I initially heard that, I remember all those good things. I remember, how those shows affected my life and how much I enjoyed them and how they really helped shape my childhood. But then I remembered those days are long gone. Disney hasn't really done anything high quality as far as an original series or even original movies, like I said, since maybe High School Musical. But outside of that, maybe some people disagree with me. Maybe there was a show that I missed, like I said, outside the Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian. If it was to shut down tomorrow, if that streaming service was to go away, people might be upset that they couldn't have access to those older movies and shows. But I don't think that it would get the same reaction that the rumor of the closure of Disney Channel would. And I know I've repeated that several times, but I just want to drive the point home just to remind everyone how great Disney used to be and how it's lacking in creativity these days. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment on what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you would like, head on over to my website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I post news, reviews, and other views about film, television, anime, books, and a whole plethora of other topics. You can sign up for free with your email address. And best of all, there's no ads. If you want to support me and the work that I do, head on over to my locals community. You can sign up for a monthly subscription, or you can send tips to articles I post there, including exclusive ones that I write just for my locals page. If you really want to help me out, pick up one or all of my novels. I've got the supernatural thriller Cacophony, the high fantasy series The Seven Royals, with All Good Things is the first in the series, and Breaking the Stars is the second one. The third one is on its way, and it will round out the Dark Army trilogy. And then, of course, we have my latest novella, Blessed Child. If you're a parent with a child 12 and over, you can pick up one of these books. You can read it and enjoy it, but I also think you can read it with your kid. Pick one or all of them up. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.